Okay, this is the website readingquest.org, and it is a great source for anybody, really, whether using or within social studies or not. It helps you to better make sense of any content that you are covering. So let's get into it. The three purpose statements of this site are: do I teach my students how to take notes? Do I teach my students how to read those things? And do I teach my students how to write in social studies? And now, whether you're a student or a teacher, this is really going to tell you about what this site is going to help you do. It's going to help you to learn how to read the content of social studies and really teach you structure within that. And it's very helpful, like I said, whether you're a teacher or a student. It can be used for both of these purposes. As you can see, it's very difficult to manipulate and use. Now, this is one of the most important parts. The difficulty of your set could be increased if you do a jam followed by a peach. If you're like most people, you have no idea what this means. And this site is providing this great example to help you learn that background knowledge is such an important part of reading when it comes to anything. Now, this example has to do with gymnastics, something about the parallel bars, but if you didn't have any idea or any knowledge of gymnastics, then you probably didn't know what this was about, and this is just an example to help prove the importance of background knowledge and prior knowledge. Now, this is the foundations of reading social studies. And like we talked about briefly, background knowledge is so important. That is the first step to understanding the content of any subject. The next is active engagement. And this is just basically saying that students need to be active rather than passive receptors of the content. And the final is to use metacognition, which is basically just thinking about thinking. It helps you figure out, how are you really thinking about these things, and what are you doing to process this knowledge? And this what, how, and when of social studies is kind of a different way of thinking about the three things we just talked about. It has a lot to do with metacognition. But this is the important part of the site that we wanted to get to. These are the strategies for reading comprehension when it comes to social studies. And these are all just different strategies. I believe there's 28 of them. These are all different strategies for helping you to use these different techniques to better understand the content of social studies. And we'll look at a few different ones that I like. Let's see, carousel brainstorming. It just tells you it gives each group a main topic, and you write down as much as you can in about 30 seconds. And then pass it around. It helps you to see your classmates' different knowledge as well as while looking at your own. The KWL chart, something most people are familiar with. It has all these different story maps here. This is a good one. This story map. This helps you look at different historical events in a way that's similar to sort of the way that you would look at an actual story, like a novel or something similar. So all these different strategies are great ways to help you better understand the content of social studies. And finally, these are different frameworks for just helping you choose comprehension strategies. So that is readingquest.org.